I started a software agency with no experience, serviced 400 clients, and made millions doing it. Here's how. The first client I got was from Craigslist. I remember someone made a posting that they want a website for their running journey, and the client paid us like $1,000 to make a WordPress website. At that point, I was mainly doing custom development, and we didn't really make like marketing websites. So for me, it was like we were scrambling to get it done. Because we were learning it for the first time, I think we stayed up like 2 or 3 days overnight to just get it done, and then we finished our first project with that client. That wasn't a lot of money, but it was enough to be like, wow, this could actually be something, and like I could actually run my own business in the future. After we got our first client and that was successful, then we start looking for other platforms like Craigslist that people were asking for work, and then we start applying proposals for them. One after the other, we got one client, then we get another client, and we deliver the projects. But at some point, I think we're doing 3 projects at once, and then we didn't have enough hands to do it ourselves. And that's where we need to start hiring people. So one of the first hires I did was we hired a freelancer to do the website. And that was one of the biggest mistakes for me at that time. One of the biggest lessons I learned as a business owner is that hiring part-time workers or freelancers is a really bad idea, because you're not their only client. So you're waiting on their schedule when they deliver, when you make promises to your client. I wish I learned that lesson a lot earlier, where I would just hire only full-time people for my company, where they work 4 hours a week, and you have a more predictable schedule on how you can deliver work for them. Another issue with freelancers is that freelancers work on their own time. So let's say you're in Eastern time zone, and then you hire someone in a different country, different time zone, you would have to stay up at night to talk to them. And that doesn't work in the long term, especially when you have 40 employees like me. So for us, we make sure that everyone has to work our time zone, or it's not going to work out. One of the biggest challenges as an agency owner is that there's delivery of projects and there's getting new clients. And the problem is you only have 40 hours a week. And because you have 40 hours a week, you're doing 2 people's job in a normal company. So one of the biggest changes in my company was, at some point, I've hired a salesperson to help me take over talking to new clients, so that this way I could actually focus on improving the process in the company and getting projects delivered. And over time, this system has gotten better and better and more efficient, that we can take on more and more clients. So as more client projects come in, we hire more people, and we hire 1 developer, then 2 developers, and then eventually our team grows. It takes about almost 6 months to grow your core team to be sustainable and like be able to work together. But it's always very hard when you're your first few employees, because sometimes you get unlucky and you hire a bad apple, and one bad apple employee can cost you more money than having no employees. So of my 40 employees, the employees are separated into different categories. So there's 3 or 4 people on lead generation or VA administration tasks. Then there's 1 salesperson, and then we have 1 project manager for the rest of the people, and we have 4 QA to help with testing the products, and the rest of them are developers. So the main thing I've learned from a lot of companies is that people like to have middle management or have a lot of project managers. I remember I had one business friend who has 6 project managers for 6 clients and have 1 developer. And then I was like, why did you do that? And for me, what I realized was that at the end of the day, every task can be broken down into foundational pieces. It's back to what I learned from McDonald's of like, you can systemize everything, how you can turn a teenager to becoming a chef. So I take the same principle in my company. So I take, what does a project manager actually do? They have to manage the client expectations, they have to make sure people are working on schedule, and we have to manage the morale of the company. So what I did was I split them into different roles for different people. So now in our company, we have no meetings, everything does asynchronously, and everyone is in charge of their own section of the work. Because our team is global and it's not in one time zone, a lot of people like to use Slack and stuff, right? But the problem with Slack is Slack gets kind of expensive as you add more people, because they charge per user. And also Slack uses a lot of resource on your computer. So for people who have really bad computers, it's not a viable option. So what we realized what worked for us was to use WhatsApp instead of Slack, because almost everyone has WhatsApp outside of North America, and it's very easy to communicate. And if someone loses power or the computer is shut down, they can still message you, and you can still have a line of communication. In terms of project management, we use Google Sheets for like feedback, and we use an open source solution called Kanban for our project management software. Kanban board is similar to other software like Jira and Asana. It's just an open source version of it. For most business tools they use in your company, there's always an open source version, which we advocate for because there's no point in paying someone for something that you can just host yourself. So another thing we do is everyone in the company has to make video summaries at the end of the day. So instead of me having a meeting with 40 employees, everyone makes a video and I can jump through the videos very fast. So I have an update on how the company's doing without having to meet everyone. And this way, everyone can communicate faster and more asynchronously, and we still get the same high touch point that most tech companies have. So to make sure that everyone is accountable for their own work, we make sure that every project only has one person on the project so that they can't hide behind someone else. And we always have a client meeting with every client every week. So everyone has to deliver their deliverables to the client because they know there's a meeting preset ahead of time. The reason why I want to make an asynchronous system with no meetings in my company is because I worked at so many tech companies and I remember we waste so much time in meetings. We would spend 50% of the developers' time in meetings, planning and stuff, which was not a very productive use of the time. So I basically create systems where, break all the work that you need to do in your tech product, break into smaller pieces for people, and figure out how can everyone do their own work asynchronously and how everyone can be accountable in a systematic way where we don't need a project manager to babysit everyone, but the work still gets done on time and delivered and everyone is happy with the work. As of this year, we decided to pivot our company from doing more custom client work to creating 12 products in 12 months due to the advancement of technology with AI. One of our flagship products we're launching is called My Tech Passport, where basically we're aggregating all the SaaS tools and other tools you may need to run your software company into one solution for a 1 monthly subscription. And the idea is that we are prioritizing our own company by having this, and we have so much learnings from over the years. We will put guides, tools, and business tools into the system so that you can use it for your own startup. Another flagship product that we are very excited about is called Update Stack. So the idea is that when you're a founder, you have to update your investors, and no one likes doing it, and there's no real good solution for it. We want to make a solution that leverages the AI technology to make updates from the founders to the investors seamless and low effort. Using this model, we were able to service 400 clients, and now we're pivoting to making 12 new products in 12 months. If you're interested in following our journey, please follow our channel for more updates.